Hey guys, remember that zombie dragon you all fought a while ago? Did you tell anybody about that? Yeah, that's a problem. So our undead forces for today, we have our vampire master on zombie dragon. Now it's not the same zombie dragon as before. I chose this one because it's actually got one of the vampire models on it. The last one I used just had a skeleton on it. Still looked cool, but this one fits more with this army. 2 squads of 10 vampire knights. One of them is being led by a champion who has the blood chalice that gives that unit regeneration. We have a champion who is supposed to be on an abyssal beast, but instead he's just gonna be the abyssal beast because, you know, feral vampires are just cool. He has Nightbringer, which gives him the Frightful Gaze, which means he can give an enemy unit within 12 inches -2 to the next morale test. That should come in handy. And then we have 4 units of Vampire Foot Knights. Now, these are not in the book, but what I did is I just took the Vampire Knights in the army builder, and I just took away the horse. So they end up being like 120 points for 5, and those are 180 points for 5. So other than that, they are the same stats. They're just not fast, and they don't have any impact. And then in every one of those units is being led by a Vampire Foot Knight champion, which is the Vampire Master with a Blood Chalice, which gives all 4 of these units regeneration. Then for the Chaos Dwarf army that realized they screwed up and did not deal with that zombie dragon when they had a chance. So let's start over here. We got 20 slaves. And then we have 20 warriors, being led by a champion that has the Pain Forger that gives everybody +1 AP in melee. Then we have 10 berserkers, being led by an abyssal leader that has the Flame Keeper that gives that unit regeneration. Then we jump over to 10 immortals, being led by a iron champion with a heavy great weapon, and he also has the Infernal Boon, the Pain Forger, which means they get +1 AP. 3 units of 10 shooters, all 3 of those have shotguns. 3 bull centaurs, 3 golems, 2 greater golems, 6 flame spirits, and in the back we're using him as a great rhino today. So here's our board end deployment today. We're set up 12 inches in, and we got 3 objectives. 2 of them are in each other's deployment zones, and 1 fighting over the middle. For the vampire deployment, it's 3 foot vampire units, the feral vampire, the vampire zombie dragon, another unit of foot knights, and then 2 units of vampire knights on the side here. Then for the Havoc Dwarfs, it's slaves, immortals, golems, shooters, giant rhino, berserkers, flame spirits, warriors, shooters, and bull centaurs. Now, because there's so many of them, we're going to activate the Havoc Dwarfs first, and we're going to have our shooters go up on this hill and chill out there. Then the Vampire Knights unit with the Vampire Master, they're going to go 14 inches because they know that everything on that side of the board is slow. So at 14 inches, they're not going to be able to get charged. Now the Berserkers are going to go next. Well, you know what? Because there's going to be a whole lot of movement and not much attacking this turn, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward to turn 1 movement, and I'll bring you back in case there's any combat. This is how movement has ended up. No one was able to get in the charge range here, and the shooters are just out of range because they're using shotguns. Golems are splitting the gap. The vampires are pushing the middle, but the dwarves are pushing even harder. And then over here, our vampire foot knights have spread out to delay anybody getting to that objective. And our feral vampire is staying up on the hill, just trying to see what develops where. But we do have some stuff happening. Our zombie dragon is going to do some stuff, and I believe that is it. Zombie dragon is going to fire a breath attack at the dwarfs, or the berserkers. And it's going to hit. It's got a blast of 3 and AP of 1. The berserkers have a defense of 5, but it's AP 1, so we're looking for a 6. They pass 1, and then they have regeneration from the charged shield, so they lose 2 naked dwarfs die. Then the vampire on the zombie dragon is going to cast Deadly Gaze against the big rhino, or big golem here. So it's a 2. He starts with 3, so he's going to use all of it. Look for 3. He passes. So it's 1 hit with AP 4, saving on a 6, and he passes. So moving into turn 2, the vampire is going to activate first. So these guys are going to charge into the slaves. So impact hits, 11 of them hitting on a 2. And then saving on a 6. So that's going to kill 8 of them there. The rest of the attacks hitting on a 3. And then saving on a 6. Oh, hey, look at all them 6s. So there goes another 6 of them. Attacks back, hitting on a 6, because they're just slaves. Okay, they miss everything. So we're going to need a morale test for them. And they fail, since they are beaten up so much they are going to run away. Then they get their 3-inch wiggle after combat. Seeing no better time than now, those slayers are going to charge into the dragon. So the berserkers throw themselves at the dragon, hitting on a 4. 7 hits, and because they're slayers, this is AP 2, saving on a 5. And because the dragon's a zombie, regenerates 1. Their leader, he doesn't have the slayer rule, but he still hits on a 4, and he misses everything. He's got 12 left. Now the dragon, because all of his attacks just send them right to a 6 defense, we're just going to roll them all at once, hitting on a 3. Saving on a 6. And they have regeneration on a 5. So, leaving us with only 2 dwarfs. Now they're going to make a fear check, and they pass. Vampire Foot Knights are going to charge into the Great Rhino. So their attacks hit on a 3. Because of Furies, we got 13 hits out of 13 attacks. Now the Great Rhino is going to save on a 3, because these are AP 1. That brings him down to 8 wounds. Now the Rhino has 2 attacks with his horn and 4 attacks with his stomp, hitting on a 4. So 3 hits at AP 1 means they save on a 4. So we lose 1 oh wait, the vampires have regeneration, so regenerate. Yeah, we lose 1 vampire. The Great Rhino lost combat, and he's going to pass his test. He's fine. Next activation, the Flame Spirits are going to plow into these vampires. So Flame Spirits are 4 attacks apiece, hitting on a 4. But they don't have any AP, so the vampires are saving on a 3. Regeneration for the vampires. We lose 3. Vampires attack back, hitting on a 3. And the Flame Spirits save on a 5 because they're AP 1. Then because the guys are ethereal, they have a regen as well. So they're going to lose 4 wounds, which is enough to kill off 1 and a little bit of another. So the Flame Spirits lost combat, and they're going to be fine. Our zombie dragon is going to activate, and it is going to fly over top of everybody. Ooh, as he's holding a berserker. And he is going to charge into the side of the rhino on that side. So before he gets to that, he's going to use his breath weapon on the shooters, which hits, and then they're going to save on a 6 because it's AP 1, and he gets 2 of them. Let's see, we got his heavy great weapon, his stomp, and his heavy claw. Everything hits on a 6. So he's going to need a 6, 4, and 4. And he passes everything. Oh, that was a 4. He passes everything. Oh, the rhino's got his horn and his stomps again, hitting on a 6. Nothing. This is as good a time as any for the shooters to fire off at the zombie dragon. They have shotguns, 2 shots apiece, hitting on a 4. But they're all AP 1, so saving on a 4. We go through times for regeneration, so 3 stick. So that'll bring him down to 9 wounds left. Our winged terror is going to see his opportunity, and he's going to jump down and charge into the Flame Spirits. So his hand weapon and heavy claw is hitting on a 3. I need 4s and 5s to save. 5 wounds go through with regeneration. They're going to take 4 more. So even with a little bit of wiggle, there's only going to be 2 close enough to engage him. They're going to hit on a 6. Oop, then save on a 4. Saves them both. So our abyssal, whatever this is, what is he called? Our abyssal beast has used Nightbringer, the Frightful Gaze on these before combat, so they're at -2 to morale, so they need a 6. And they pass. So on the far flank, the Bull Centaurs are going to plow into this unit of vampires. Only 6 impact hits from them, hitting on a 2. Hitting on a 3. Ooh, 1 failed with regeneration. He's good. Their attacks hitting on a 3 with Furious. 3 hits, saving on a 4. Failed 2 with Regeneration, so 1 vampire goes down. So their attacks back hitting on a 3. The Centaurs save on a 4. So that's going to be 4 wounds. They need a morale test, which they pass. Being that the center has become completely gummed up, this unit of Vampire Knights, they're going to pull out this direction. Making them the second wave for this flank. So with that out of the way, that means that these Immortals can charge in here without much worries of reprisal from the other squad of Cavalry. So all their attacks hitting on a 3. And with the Infernal Boom takes them to AP3, which means the Vampires save on a 6. The Vampire character gave them Regeneration. So 4 Knights go down, and then they're going to attack back, looking for a 6. Saving on a 5. So 1 Immortal goes down. The Vampires need a morale test, and they pass. That gives this unit of Vampires a chance to push back, hitting on a 6. Are furious, so that 1 6 becomes 2 hits, and then saving on a 5, 2 fails, Regeneration. We got 2 fails. So the Flame Spirits attack back, looking for a 6. 2 hits, saving on a 3, passed them both. So that means that the Flame Spirits need another morale test, and this time they fail. And with their numbers so low, they're going to disappear. The squad of shooters is going to fire into the Knights here, but they're going to get cover because all the Immortals are in the way. So they're still going to hit on 4s. But now, because of cover, instead of saving on a 4, they're going to save on a 3. Ooh, as I throw one off the table. There we go. 1 wound through, Regeneration. We're going to lose another Knight. Next activation, this unit of Knights is just going to hold, or the Foot Knights are just going to hold where they are just to keep on that objective. Then these golems are going to charge into the zombie dragon. So 9 attacks, hitting on a 4. P1, saving on a 4. And then regeneration for the zombie dragon. Takes 2 more. Dragons attack back. We got the AP1 and the AP3 and the AP1s. Hitting on a 6. Saving on a 6. Saving on a 4. Failed them both. So, because the dragon has a fear of 2, he counts as doing 4 wounds to their 2. So, the golems lose combat, and they are fine. Last activation for the vampires. This squad is going to re-engage there, hitting on a 6. 6s means 4 hits, so saving on a 4. 3 go through. The last remaining Centaur is going to attack back, hitting on a 6, so 2 hits. 1 goes through. And regeneration, they are fine. So then the Centaur needs a morale test, and he fails, so he's out of there. That's it for the vampires. I'm going to move everything else for the dwarves, and then we're just going to roll dice from there. So in this section, these guys move forward. They're going to fire at the vampires here. These guys move forward as fast as they can, and the golem moved forward as fast as he can towards that guy. So we're going to start here. 20 shots hitting on a 4. AP1, so saving on a 4. Regeneration for the vampires. We lose 1. Then in this section, we have the greater golem attacking these vampires with his great fist or giant fists. So he hits on a 4. And it is AP2, so saving on a 5. 2 fails, but they have regeneration. Still 2 fails. We're going to have 2 get close enough to swing at him, hitting on a 6. Failed them both. So the vampires need a morale test, and they fail. Well, because they're undead, we get to do the undead save, and they're going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more toughness. Seems like a good investment for 2 kills and then 5 more on the morale fail. And last of the turn, the Rhino is going to go because he's just been kicked in the face and he hasn't actually activated. He's going to attack what's left here, hitting on a 6. We have 1 hit at AP1, passes. So at the end of turn 2, it seems the combination of one army being very resilient and the other one having short little legs means that turn 3 might be the bloody turn in this game. So let's see what happens from here. So Vampire's going to activate first. Our zombie dragon is going to get away from those golems and then charge the backside of our giant rhino. So we got the AP3 and the AP1 stuff hitting on a 3. Saving on 6s and 4s. So the Rhino takes 5, he's down to 3, so he's going to attack back, look for 4s. And he only got 1 hit, and it's the AP1, which the dragon fails, but it does not regenerate, so he's down to 6. Quality test for the Rhino, and it's going to fail, so that means the Rhino is going to take off running. So I forgot some things, but it's okay. I talked to my opponent, and he says he'd allow it. So the breath weapon is going to go here, and it's going to hit. Saving on a 6. They failed all 3, but they are regenerating. So they failed 2, which means it's going to be him. And then the commander guy, I forgot if he's a champion or an abysmal or whatever. He's got 2 wounds left. Then he's going to use the spell Curse on the shooters. Now, he didn't use any last turn, so he's at 6. So he's going to pump this one with 2 extra points. So it's going to cost 5 to cast it on a 3, or cast it on a 2. And it goes off. So it's going to be 9 hits, saving on a 5. Then it will be a morale test for them, which they pass. And then a morale test for the lone berserker guy, which he passes. So over on this side, this group of vampires that are on the objective is still more than 8 inches away. So they're going to charge this group here. So there's 15 guys close enough to swing. The yellows are going to be the abyssal leader. So the Iron Champion, I'm sorry. So the Iron Champion hits on a 3. Everybody else hits on a 4. For saves, because he gives them +1 on all their attacks, or +1 AP on all their attacks. The greens are going to need 4s, and the yellows are going to need 5s. Only 4 get through. Regeneration. We're going to lose 3 vampires. Vampires attack back, hitting on a 3. So because of their shield wall ability, instead of a 6, they save on a 5. So it'll be 3 dead dwarves. So overall, 3 and 3. This is a tie, so no one needs to make a test. Against the Immortals, the Vampire Knights are going to charge in, so their impact hits, hitting on a 2. And then the Immortals save on a 4. That'll be 3, 4 there. Then all the regular attacks hitting on a 3. Saving on a 5. And the Iron Champion are attacking, hitting on a 3. Saving on a 6. 1 save, 1 fail, then regeneration. It regens. So that means that these guys are going to have to take a morale test, the Immortals, which they pass. So the Greater Golem is going to charge into our champion here. 6 attacks, hitting on a 4. Wow, he came in and did absolutely nothing. Good job, buddy. So then our champion is going to attack back, hitting on a 4. Saving on a 3, and then saving on a 4. So it's going to take 4 wounds. And with only 2 wounds remaining, it has to take a test, and it is fine. It's not running away. These vampires have had enough of getting shot. They're just going to charge up here and engage these guys. So, hitting out a 3. Saving out a 6. Takes out 9 shooters. His attack back. It's going to hit. But the vampire saves. So, morale test. He fails. So, boop. Now this unit of golem is going to charge into our vampires here. Hitting on a 4. Saving on a 4. So we got 2 that need to have regeneration. Fail 1. Vampires attack back on a 3. Golem save on a 4. They take 1 more wound. Again, because neither of these have fear and it was only 1 to 1, it's a tie. No tests are needed. So because of the gap that has arrived here, 16 inches out, this guy can get into combat. Whoa! The impact hits, we need 7 impact hits because 3 of them weren't able to get all the way there. So they all hit. And then saving on 5. So 4 go down there. Then 10 are close enough to attack, hitting on a 3. And saving on a 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be enough to wipe the squad. They get their 3-inch right onto the objective. Back in the middle, these guys are going to come down to here. And they're going to shoot at the zombie dragon. Hitting on a 4. Saving on a 4. Oh, he loses all 3, but then regeneration. He loses 1. He only took 1, but that does mean that he's below half, so he has to take a morale test, which he fails. So he needs to make the undead rolls. He takes 3 more wounds, which means he's down to 2. Over on this flank, this group of vampires is going to fall back 12 inches. Or about. I'm not going to measure it. It's close to that. The Berserker champion is going to charge into the zombie dragon. 4 attacks hitting on a 4. Saving on a 3 with regeneration, so there's 2. He takes 1 more. The dragon attacks back, hitting on 6s. Yeah, how did that happen? So, 2 go through, saving on a 6. Failed them both, but he is carrying the charged shield, which means he has regeneration. But he fails them both, and he was down to 2 wounds, so he's gone. This group of vampires that have been twiddling their thumb all day are going to charge into the big block of Havoc Dwarf warriors. Hitting on a 3 with Furious. Then saving on a 6. I meant saving on a 5, so I only took 5 out instead of 6. But they're going to attack back, hitting on a 6. Vampire save on a 4 with regeneration. So they're going to lose 2. So morale test with the Iron Champion, it's a 3. They fail, so that means they're going to be pinned. In the middle again, the Greater Golem is going to attack the Vampire Dragon. Hitting on a 4. Hitting on a 5. Trying to regenerate. Oh, it fails 1. Oh, that was such a good roll. But that is enough to take the dragon off the board. These immortals are going to attack here looking for 6s. Since they've already attacked, we've got 2 hits. Saving on 6s. Failed them both. Then regeneration. Fail 1. And the vampires attack on 6s. And nothing. So the vampires need to make a morale test. Which they fail. Oh, is that on camera? Yep, it's on camera. So, undead thing, we lose 3 more. So it's just down to the champion and 1 more horse. Looks like the last 2 activations are for the vampires, so we're going to have these guys go to here. Hitting on a 6. Nothing. So the attack's back. Hitting on a 6. We got 2 hits. It is AP 2, so saving on a 5. Fail 1. And then regeneration. Failed another. So the vampire lost combat and passes. Last activation, our feral vampire is going to attack this Greater Golem on a 6. So he needs a 3 and a 4. Takes 1 more wound. Golem attacks back on a 6. Gets 2 hits. Saving on a 6. Makes 1. So he's got 5 wounds left, but because he caused his fear of 1, it counts as causing an extra wound. So that means the Golem needs to make a morale test and passes. So at the end of turn 3, it looks like there's a whole lot less on the board. We are into the home stretch on turn number 4. So first activation of 4. These dwarfs are going to try to push through here. Yellows are 3s, greens are hitting on 4s. 7 on 4s, and 5s. 3 go through, regeneration. Failed none of them, so 3 vampires go down. So attacking back, hitting on 3s. 7 on 5s. So they lose 2. The dwarfs win combat, so morale for the vampires, and they pass. So next up is the vampires. We're going to have these guys over here, and they are going to charge into those dwarves. Hitting on 3s. Saving on 5s. That took out 7 dwarves, and they're going to attack back on 6s. With nothing. So morale check for the dwarfs. They pass. The dwarf shooters in the middle are going to go there 4 inches right here onto the objective, and they're going to shoot at that vampire. 8 shots hitting on a 4. 4 hits, saving on a 4. Well, we failed 3. Regeneration, because he's holding the cup. He fails. Oh, is it off camera? Off camera. He fails all 3, so he is down. Fighting against these last 2 immortals. Impact hits. They all hit. Saving on a... Who's saving on? Saving on a 4, so they lose 1. And then their attacks here. Hitting on 3. And these are going to be AP a lot. Failed them both. So he's down to 1 wound. His attacks back, 3 attacks at AP3, hitting on a 3, so it's going to be 3 hits. Saving on a 6. 3 fails. 3 regenerations, all 3 go through. So, morale test for the dude. He fails, so he's going to go away. Over here in this slap fight, the greater golem is going to attack, hitting on a 4. P2, so saving on a 6. Failed all 4. Vampire Hunter attacks back, looking for a 4. And then the golem saves on a 4. That's going to be enough to take him out. So this guy is going to fly to here, just to be cheeky, and contest the objective. Then we'll group this together. We'll have the greater golem, and then these 2 golems also charge into him. Green's a little one, yellow's a greater one. All hitting on a 4. Looking for 5s and 6s. Well, that's a lot of 5s and 6s, but it's enough to knock the vampire out of the fight. With that, everyone else is going to hold where they are. Objective-wise, we have vampire, dwarfs, vampire. So it's a 2-1 vampire victory. It took this far into Spooky Week for a undead spooky army to actually win. So that's the game for today here in the garage. This has been War Boss Fitz. Thanks for coming by. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a happy Halloween and a good rest of the week wherever you are. Even if you don't celebrate, buy yourself a candy bar. It's that time of year. So that's all for now. I'll see you next time here in the garage.